All right, next racing fans, welcome back to the channel. I know it's been a while since I posted a video. With the holidays, it's been crazy with the family, been busy, but we're gonna get right back into the grind, right back into this build. As you can see by today's title, it's gonna be something a little bit different, something custom, something that I think a lot of you guys are gonna like. So let's go ahead and get this turned around, get right into it. So, before we get it turned around, this is something that I've been thinking about for a while now. I know I'm pretty sure the 1G and the 2G guys, in terms of the oil pan gasket, it's really no oil pan gasket. You're using RTV for oil pan gasket and it gets messy. You're sitting there scraping off the old RTV, doing what you have to do. Sometimes it doesn't seal all the way, you have to add more. So I thought, what can we do to fix this problem? So I thought, why don't we make our own gasket? Custom gasket. I mean, we've been making custom oil pans, we've been getting custom everything. So let's go ahead and see if we can make a custom gasket. So what I did was I ordered some material, went ahead and drew the gasket shape on it, cut it out, drill the holes for the bolts, and let's show you what we got. So as you guys can see here, this right here is actually the gasket that I got from the auto parts store. As you can see, it's really thin and flimsy. It's made out of some kind of like paper material. Didn't really like it too much, so we went ahead and traced it off of this, and we went ahead and traced it off of the oil pan itself. So this right here, guys, is a 6-bolt oil pan. So what I did was I went ahead and traced it around. As you guys can see, the bolt holes line up perfectly all the way around. And what I did was, on all of the bolt holes except for this one, because this one I made it a little bit bigger just to match how this one was, because I wasn't really sure the purpose of this being so big, but I made it that big just in case, because I didn't have the oil pan with me at the time. But I made this one a little bit bigger. But I made the holes a little bit smaller than the oil pan holes itself, just enough so that the bolts would stick into there by itself. So as you can see, we have 3 bolts in there right now. So you see the bolts in there, and it's being held in by the gasket itself because it's pretty tight in there. So if I turn this, it'll start coming out, and it's pretty tight into the gasket itself. And I did that, the purpose of that is so that we don't want a big gap around it, so that the gasket itself has room to move. Now that it's in there tight like that, it doesn't have any room to move, jiggle, or be tight in there. So when you bolt this pan up into the block, it's going to be the tightest fit it can be. That way, 1, it doesn't have any blowouts, 2, it doesn't leak any oil, and 3, it's a lot easier to install. So as you can see, I have those 3 bolts in there. So basically what I would do now is I would put it under the block, lift it up, screw this one in here, screw this one in over here, screw this one in over here. I would probably put one more on this side, screw it in. That way it's held up to the block. And then once it's held up to the block, then I'll start putting all the rest of the other bolts into it. That way you're not trying to put this up there. Like for instance, this one here, if I would put this one on there, you see how it just goes. You can see it just, now if I do that with this, look, it's not going anywhere. So that way, this is not moving around, it's not getting messed up. It's, oh, this side is off a little bit, that side's off a little bit. No, it's on there, and it's on there good. So that way there's no movement on there. So this will be something that I will be mass producing. I'm gonna make a couple more of the 6-bolt. For the 7-bolt guys, it's a little bit harder due to the dip in the oil pan. The oil pan right here has a little bit of a dip, but I will get the 7-bolt one done as well. That's going to be my next project. I'm going to go ahead and get a 7-bolt one done. and then I'm gonna go ahead and make a couple more 6 bolts, and they will be for sale. So what do you guys think? So the only difference is this material is a little bit thicker than, let's just say, let's put this gasket on there. See how you can barely see that gasket on there? This is a lot thicker, and that's meant to support, you know, if you over tighten these bolts, it's not gonna break it. It's not gonna snap this and break it in half. Now this material here is it's a rubber silicone mixture that's high temp, oil resistant, chemical resistant. It's meant to withstand about up to, I believe, 550 degrees. It's meant to withstand oil, chemicals, gas, E85. It's meant to withstand all of it. That way you're not corroding the gasket. The gasket's not gonna melt away. It's not gonna be any problems with it. So this is some high grade material that I bought here, meant to withstand all the abuse you could throw at it. And like I said, it's a little bit thicker. The only thing that I'm a little bit worried about is in terms of the front bolts, I believe, are a little bit shorter to go into the front case. Those you might have to extend the bolts, have to put a little bit longer bolts. I'm not 100% sure yet. I don't think so. I mean, this material it's thick, it's 1/8 thick, but it's not super thick where it's gonna make a difference in terms of the oil pickup tube being any farther away from the bottom of the oil pan than it would normally would be. I mean, this, you know, I mean, this much farther away is not gonna make a whole hell of a difference. But that's what we got today in today's video, guys. Let me know what you think. Let me know if you guys would purchase it. If so, what pricing are you guys thinking? I have a price in my head, but it's very comparable to this flimsy little piece right here. I mean, you guys gonna avoid messing with that RTV. Every time you take the pan off, put it back on. You guys don't have to mess with it. So let me know what you guys think. It's, like I said, it's reusable, so you guys put it on there, take the oil pan back off, put it right back on, and so we'll go from there, guys. So let me know what you guys think. Leave a comment below. Make sure you like the video, subscribe to the channel. We'll be having more custom stuff made. As you guys can see over here, I got all the material that I need to build I'm actually gonna build a 6-bolt oil pan from aluminum. I've got the 1/4 inch thick plate right here to make the flange out of. And then I do, as you guys can see here, I do have some trap doors. So I will be putting some baffling into it. I bought some extra material here so that we can baffle it. We're gonna put 4 trap doors. We're gonna do like Moroso does. It's gonna be basically what you can do is a diamond shape in there. So if you look into here, obviously, let me see if I'm not mistaken, this is gonna be the front of the motor, towards the front of the car. This is gonna be towards the back of the car. What they do is they do a diamond shape in there. That way, if you're moving left to right, you have oil coming in on those sides. If you're doing front to back, and if you're going, you know, accelerating, these 2 front doors will open up on the sides. The back ones will close. If you're pressing on the brakes, the 2 back doors will open up, the 2 front doors will close. That way you're not messing with the oil pickup. It's always gonna have oil in the pickup area. So we're working on that as well. But we're gonna get this oil pan gasket finished up here. We're gonna make some more and post them and see how they do. All right, remember guys, stay tuned. We're next racing.